Upon reclaiming the White House back in 1892, President Grover Cleveland struggled when it came to dealing with the economy thanks to the financial policies that were made by his predecessor, leading to huge losses for many in what most historians called the Panic of 1893. Cleveland's use of the military to break up labor unions during the Pullman strike of 1894 left the Democrats in such disarray that they lost 127 seats come the midterm elections while the Republicans won 130 seats in Congress. As Grover's time in office was coming to an end, the Democrats were having a hard time nominating a candidate for president, until a 36-year-old former congressman and lawyer from Nebraska named William Jennings Bryan threw his name into the race. While Bryan was a Democrat, he was more of a populist than his contemporaries, and this became evident by his legendary Cross of Gold speech at the convention. Bryan would call for aid to those affected by the economic panic while also attacking the rich monopolies that many believed were the cause of this crisis. The reaction to Bryan's speech was so thunderous that the delegates in the convention hall hoisted Bryan on their shoulders and carried him out like he was a conquering hero. As you can imagine, Bryan won the nomination. The Republicans nominated William McKinley, the former governor of Ohio who also served as a major during the American Civil War. The issue over the economy as well as the fight over gold or silver being used as the official U.S. currency dominated much of this election, with McKinley proudly supporting the gold standard while Bryan was mainly in favor of free silver. Bryan's strategy of traveling 18,000 miles across the country to promote his message of progressive reforms attracted many, including evangelicals, the poor, and many supporters of the populist movement, which was a growing political party by the early 1890s. McKinley, for his part, decided to use the front porch strategy, in which reporters and the general public would come to him as he gave numerous speeches from the comfort of his house in Niles, Ohio. While all of this occurs on the campaign trail, Mark Hanna, who was McKinley's friend and campaign advisor, met with many powerful names in the business community and proceeded to gather their support in favor of McKinley. Hanna's strategy of getting donations from major corporations not only helped in outspending the Bryan campaign when it came to promoting McKinley, but the strategy would soon become the standard for financing many political campaigns. By the end of the election, William McKinley became the 25th President of the United States with 271 electoral votes and 51% of the popular vote. William Jennings Bryan received 176 electoral votes and 46.7% of the popular vote. Despite losing the election, William Jennings Bryan became one of the few candidates who somehow managed to reshape his party, with many of his populist rhetoric being used in the years that followed.